Hello everyone. Once again, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Magic of Maths. Students, today we are going to discuss a learning outcome based practice worksheet of class 10th, which is based on chapter number 1, that is the real numbers, Vastavik Sankhyavan. So, let's begin. The first question. Every composite number can be expressed as the product of power of prime numbers. Is this statement true or false? Students, you are well aware that this is the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So this is a true statement. ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਭਾਜ ਸੰਖਿਆ ਨੂੰ ਅਪਾਜ ਸੰਖਿਆ ਦੀਆਂ ਘਾਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਗੁਣਨਫਲ ਦੇ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਰਸਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਸਹੀ ਸਟੇਟਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ। So this is true. Moving on to the next question, that root 5 is an irrational number. This is again a true statement. Root 5 एक अपरिमेय संख्या है. This is a true statement. Moving on to the next question, 1 upon root 2 is a rational number. Students, you know that root 2 is irrational and 1 upon 2 is also irrational. वो एक अपरिमेय संख्या है, पर इन्होंने परिमेय लिखा है. So this is a false statement. Next question. संख्यावां 64 ਅਤੇ 96 का we have to find the HCF. The HCF of 64 and 96. There are many methods from which you can find the HCF, like the Euclid's division algorithm or by the method of prime factorization or the division method. So let's start. When you will divide 64 and 96, then it will go on table. 64 ones are 64 and this will leave the remainder as 32. Again we will divide. Now it will go on to 32 twos are 64 and now the remainder is 0. So when you get the remainder as 0, that is your stopping step. You will stop over there and that last divisor is your HCF. So in this question, the HCF is 32. Moving on to the next question, 3 root 5 multiplied by 2 root 5 is an irrational number. Is this statement true or false? Students, when you will multiply root 5 with root 5, you will get 5 and then 3 and 2. So 3 twos are 6 and 6 fives are 30. So this gives you a rational number, but they have written as irrational. So this is a false statement. This is a false statement, students. Then question number 6. The decimal representation of 35 upon 40 will be terminating or non-terminating. Terminating means shant and non-terminating means ashant. दशमलव प्रसार कितना दा होएगा, शांत कि अशांत? Students, you have done a theorem that if P upon Q is a rational number, then the denominator Q, if it is of the form 2 raised to the power n, 5 raised to the power m, then it is terminating. So we will find out the prime factorization of 40 and you will see that it is, this is the method to find the prime factorization. So it is 2 raised to the power 3 and 5 raised to the power 1. So it has only the base as 2 and 5. So it is terminating. Moving on to the next question. Pi एक dash संख्या है. Pi is an dash number, rational or irrational. So pi is an irrational number. Find the decimal representation of 17 upon 8. इसको आपने decimal में convert करना है. So what you will do is, for converting it into decimal, you will multiply with the number so that in the denominator you get 10, hundreds or thousand. So the nearest number is 125. On multiplying 8 by 125, you will get 1000 in the denominator and in the numerator you will get 2125, 2125. So when you will convert it into decimal, it is 2.125. Moving on to the next question, question number 9. 0.1201200120001 is a dash number. Is it rational or irrational? Students, you can see that it is a terminating decimal. So it is rational. 43.123456789 bar is a dash number, rational or irrational? Students, although it is non-terminating, but it is repeating the same block which is coming under the bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is repeating again and again. It is non-terminating but repeating. So it is a rational number. Non-terminating but repeating. So these were the 10 questions. Now moving on to question number 11th. The decimal representation of a rational number is either dash or dash. It is either terminating, shant, or non-terminating, that is ashant, but repeating. Like in the 10th question we did the previous question, it was non-terminating but repeating. Moving on to question number 12. State whether the following rational number will have a terminating or a non-terminating decimal. Again, here we will apply the same theorem that if P upon Q is a rational number, then the the denominator Q is of the form 2 raised to the power n and 5 raised to the power m. Means it has the powers bases as 2 and 5. So in the first question you can see that we are given as the denominator 1850. So we will first find out the prime factors of 1850 by the method of prime factorization, and you will see that it is 2 raised to the power 1, 5 raised to the power 2 and multiply by 37. So it has the prime number 37 with it. It has the prime number 37. So it is non-terminating because factors other than 2 and 5 are there. In this question, 96 divided by 2 raised to the power 3 multiplied by 5 raised to the power 4. It has the powers bases in the form of 2 and 5. So it is terminating. Then third one, it has 2 as well as base 3 as well as base 5. It has 3 bases, 2, 3 and 5. Other than 2 and 5 there is base 3. So it is non-terminating. I hope students the question is clear to you. The next question is very easy, that is complete the factor tree. 24, it has 2 factors 2 and 12. So 2 into 12 gives you back 24. Now 2 is a prime number, so it won't be splitted again. 12 is a composite number, so it has 2 factors. 2 multiply, you will multiply 2 with what so as to get 12? Yes, you will multiply 2 with 6, you will get 12. Now again 6 is a composite number, it will have factors. And which factors? 3 is already written, so you will multiply 3 with 2. So my factor tree is complete. So these are the factors which we have to write in the empty spaces. Next, question number 14. You have to write 156 as the product of prime factors. Students, when you have to do prime factorization, just remember that only prime numbers have to be written. So you will divide it by 2. When you will divide 156 by 2, you will get 78. Again, you will divide it by 2. You will get as 39. Now this won't go on 2. It will go on 3. This will give you as 13, and 13 is a prime number. So the prime factors are 2 raised to the power 2, 3 multiplied by 13. So these are the prime numbers. You can write it 2 raised to the power 2. Actually on 3 and 13 power 1 is hidden. So you can write it or you can skip it. You can write 2 raised to the power 2 multiplied by 3 raised to the power 1 multiplied by 13 raised to the power 1. Either you can write the power or you can skip it. It's up to you. So moving on to the next page, that is question number 15. You have to find the HCF of 6, 72 and 120 by the prime factorization method. Students, again, like we have done the 14th question and we have found the prime factors, you will find the prime factors of 6, 72 and 120. Prime factors of 6 are 2 raised to the power 1, 3 raised to the power 1. You will find the prime factors of 72. It is 2 raised to the power 3 and 3 raised to the power 2. And then you will find the prime factors of 120. It is 2 raised to the power 3 and 3 raised to the power 1 and 5 raised to the power 1. So these are the prime factors of all the three numbers, that is 6, 72 and 120. Now when you have to find the HCF, students, you have to take the common factor which is in all the three numbers with the lowest power. Remember, in HCF word come highest common factor. The full form of HCF is highest common factor. You have to take common. Common means which is in 6 as well as 72 as well as in 120, but with the lowest power. So you can easily see that the factor 2, base 2 and factor 3 is in all the three numbers, but the lowest power of factor 2 is 1 and the lowest power of factor 3 is also 1. So this will give you the HCF as, I'm sorry students, this will give you the HCF as 2 raised to the power 1, 3 raised to the power 1, that is 2 multiplied by 3, that is 6. I hope it is clear to you. Moving on to question number 16. Find the HCF of 135 and 225 by the Euclid's division lemma. So let's begin the Euclid's division lemma. You will divide 225 by 135. So it will give you 1 and the remainder as 90. Now this divisor becomes your dividend. 135 is here and your remainder becomes your divisor. So you will divide 135 by 90. It will again go on 1 and give you remainder as 45. Now you will divide 90 by 45. So it will go on 2 and give you remainder as 0. So when you get the remainder as 0, you have to stop there. And the last number, which is your divisor, is your answer. That is your HCF. So in this question, the HCF of 135 and 225 is 45. Question number 17. You have to prove that 3 plus root 5 is a irrational number. Now let us suppose, you will suppose that 3 plus root 5 is a rational number. Suppose 3 plus root 5 is rational number. If 3 plus root 5 is a rational number, then you can write 3 plus root 5 in the form of x upon y, where x and y are co-prime integers and y is not equal to 0. So after rearranging, you get root 5 is equal to x upon y minus 3. Now on right hand side, you have x, y and 3, which are all integers. So right hand side is a rational number. So this indicates that the left hand side, root 5, will also be a rational number. But this is a contradiction, as we know that root 5 is irrational. So 3 plus root 5 is also irrational. I will attach a page at the end of this video and give you the full proof of this question. You can just note it down from there. So moving on to the next question. Question number 18. Find the HCF and the LCM of 510 and 92 and verify that the multiplication of two numbers is equal to HCF multiplied by LCM. First of all, you will find out the prime factors of 510 and 92. The prime factors of 510 is 2 raised to the power 1, 3 raised to the power 1, 5 raised to the power 1 and 17. Similarly, you can find out the prime factors of 92, that is 2 raised to the power 2 and 23 raised to the power 1. When you have to find the HCF, you will take the common factors, and the common factor is only 2 with the lowest power, that is 1. So the HCF is 2. And when you have to find the LCM, you have to take all the factors 2, 3, 5, 17 and 23 with the highest power. The highest power of 2 is 2. So when you multiply all these, you get the LCM as 23460. But the question is not complete over here, because you have to verify the result that when you multiply HCF and LCM, that is the same as the product of numbers. So my HCF is 2 and my LCM is 23460. So when I multiply these two, I get the result as 46920. My two numbers are 510 and 92. And when I multiply these two numbers, again I get 46920. So my result is verified. So HCF multiplied by LCM is equal to A multiplied by B. My result is verified. I hope students you have understood the question. Question number 19. If the HCF of the numbers 306 and 657 is 9, you have to find the LCM of these numbers. We will use the same result which we have used in question number 18. That is HCF multiplied by LCM is equal to A multiplied by B. Your first number A is 306. Your second number B is 657. LCM I have to find and my HCF is 9. So from here I can find my LCM. On left hand side 9 is multiply. When it will go to right hand side it will get divided. On dividing 306 by 9 I get the number as 34, and when I multiply these two I get the number as 22338. So this is my answer. 22,338 is the LCM. So question number 20. You have to find the HCF and the LCM of the following numbers by using prime factorization. So we will do this question. Prime factors of 8, 2 raised to the power 3. Prime factors of 9, 3 raised to the power 2. And prime factors of 25, 5 raised to the power 2. And you will see, students, that there is no common factor in all these three. So HCF is going to be 1. And LCM, you will take all the numbers as it is, that is 2 raised to the power 3, 3 raised to the power 2 and 5 raised to the power 2, and on multiplying all these you get the answer as 1800. Then this question, the factors of 12, that is 2 raised to the power 2 and 3 raised to the power 1. 15, 3 raised to the power 1, 5 raised to the power 1. And 21, 3 raised to the power 1 and 7 raised to the power 1. So when I have to find the HCF, I will take all the common factors. Which are the common factors? The only common factor is 3. That is 3 raised to the power 1, that is 3. And when I have to find the LCM, I will take all the factors with highest powers. That is 2 raised to the power 2, 3 raised to the power 1, 5 raised to the power 1 and 7 raised to the power 1. So when I multiply these, I get the answer of LCM as 420. So the last question of the assignment is that why 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 7 plus 7 is a composite number. Students, you are well aware with the fact that a prime number has only two factors, that is 1 and number itself. And the numbers which are not prime are composite numbers. That is, the composite numbers have more than 2 factors. So in this question, when I have 1 is hidden, 3 multiplied by 7, 5 multiplied by 7 plus 7 multiplied by 1. This 1 is hidden. From both these, I can take 7 as common. So I will be left with 3 multiplied by 5 plus 1. So this is 3 multiplied by 5, 15. 15 plus 1 is 16. So 7 multiplied by 16. So I get 7 into 2 into 2 into 2. So it has more than 2 factors, that is 7 as well as 2. One factor is number itself, another is 1, 7 and 2. So it has more than 2 factors, so it is a composite number. I hope students the whole worksheet is clear to you. If any of you is having any doubt in any question, then please do mention it in the comment. I will surely reply to your comment and try to solve your problem. Till then, stay home, stay safe. See you soon in the next video.